Angie76. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Nick Filipowski. I see Nick and Carla and AJ. I see Fat Mike. Hey, Fat Mike. What's happening? What's shaking? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I keep falling asleep during your TikToks. It's not you. I am a good sedative. It's been said before. I do that all the time. I fall asleep to David Shapiro because his YouTube videos are like 3 hours long, and I'll start watching them. I fall right out. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got, we'll let it get spun back up. We were going along good, but then my Wi-Fi was poo-poo. I was getting errors here. People were saying it was buffering. It was horrible. Now there's just 6 people in here. Now TikTok's like, we're not going to show your live to anyone. We're just not. We're not going to show it to anyone. You selfish little bastard. Ooh, that's a little too bright. Yeah, that hurt. Welcome, 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 welcome. This is the AI Learning Lab. My name is Kyle Shannon. We'll get started here in a second. I'll talk about all this stuff here. I was just here before. Yeah, tap the screen if you would. Let people know we're having a good time in here. Oh, it's a party on a Tuesday night. Weren't you supposed to be doing work tonight? Yeah, but I didn't do it. What'd you do? I watched some old fat guy on TikTok. Why would you do that? I don't know. That's my life. My co-founder today said she turned this on last night and just put me in the background. I don't know why she would want to spend even more time with me during the day. That was pretty funny. We had a good call today, or a good meeting today with the banker. So yeah, we've got some interesting ye old company. We're gonna see if we can't spin up some excitement ye old company. And then I can do TikTok lives 24/7. This could be my new career. I'll be an influencer on a TikTok. Hey, Kyle, what do you do? Are you an entrepreneur? Oh, I used to be. What do you do now? Nothing, but I get paid for it. Oh, man. All right, so this is the AI Learning Lab. If you're new to generative AI, that's what we talk about here. I do my best to answer any questions. If you have questions about it, pop them in the comments below. If your thoughts are circling around, who the hell are you anyway, and why should I trust you? You shouldn't. I'm just a dude. I'm an entrepreneur of many years. I was an entrepreneur in the early days of the World Wide Web, and this here generative AI stuff, a lot of parallels to the early days of the web. A lot of parallels. And this is feeling way more profound to me. This is feeling like steam engine profound, industrial revolution profound, fire printing press. Like, there aren't many of them that are in this neighborhood. World Wide Web, as profound as that was, got nothing on this stuff. And this stuff's coming fast. So why do I keep pointing to that thing? Okay, oops. So, if you're new to generative AI, if you're like, annoying people like me keep going, you should try it. AI is going to be the next big thing. Have you done anything with AI? Are you on Chat GTP, GPT, TP? If you tried that, that would be good. If you're annoyed at those people, well, they're like that for a reason, because they've had some sort of profound moment where they realized, oh my God, everything's different. And I had that moment too, and that's why this channel exists. So chat.openai.com, that's the official ChatGPT website. If you would be so kind, if you're willing to, share this live with your friends and family so they can think you're a weirdo too. We can get some more people in here. This is the official ChatGPT website. It's the best. If you pay their $20 a month GPT Plus, you get access to GPT-4, which is their new fancy model. You also get access to code interpreter and plugins and custom instructions. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, so there's no shenanigans going on with me making money that way. If that's something that bugs you, it shouldn't, but it does apparently bug some people. So I'm not that guy. All these things below are all different competitors of ChatGPT. So Claude's a competitor. Bing is Microsoft, and they invested $10 billion in OpenAI and have incorporated into their Bing chat. Bard is Google. Labs.Perplexity is Meta's Llama 2 models. Pi is a company called Inflection. Poe is from Quora. All of these have something interesting to play with, but if you're brand new to it, just go to that one. Just go to that one. And then if you're like, but I don't know what to do there, Kyle. What do I do there? I don't even know what to do. Do you know what to do? What do I do? It looks like a Google chat. Do I search for something on it? Why does it say it's only up to September 2021? Why, oh why? Well, there's a lot of reasons for that. But go to this thing, prompts.chat, and that will teach you how to talk to these ChatGPT-like things and how they work and what they can do. And so that's worth doing. Oh, that's funny. Went to go subscribe to your YouTube channel. Recognized it by your giant eye. Yeah, the YouTube channel is that address at the top there, AI Learning Lab -TT, because AI Learning Lab was taken by someone. Dang it. Dang it, Buck. You should have gone there sooner. I told you should have gone there sooner. Chick, frick 'em. Anyway, if you want to go to YouTube, I'm using ChatGPT. Actually, this is kind of fun. No, I'm not using ChatGPT. I'm using Claude. Claude.ai. So what I'm doing is TikTok records these lives I do. And so I'm uploading them to YouTube, grabbing the transcript, going to Claude, pasting the transcript in, and I've written a prompt that'll generate a title, a description, and all the chapters for all the silly shit I say throughout the 2 and 3 hour sessions, which actually makes them kind of usable. So I'm just getting started with that. So I got some work to do. But anyway, that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool using this kind of technology to make videos where I'm talking about this kind of technology. It's very meta, but not meta like metaverse and Mark Zuckerberg. Meta like the term meta, you know. Anyway, moving on. What else? Prompts.chat will teach you about prompting ChatGPT. OpenArt.ai/prompt book is just a really good document if you want to learn how to do these image generation tools. Midjourney, Adobe Firefly, and Stable Diffusion, or Leonardo, which is a web front end to Stable Diffusion. It's a really good one. So those are some things to play with. All right, so that's what all that stuff is. I keep it up here. I keep it up here throughout this because I know people come in and out of these things, and those are the things right now that I would recommend if you're just trying to get started with generative AI. Those are the things to start with, and you can ignore all of them except that one. Just go to that one if you're brand new to this stuff, chat.openai.com. All right. If you have questions about ChatGPT or anything like that, pop them in the comments below, or if you just want to talk about anything in particular, I'm happy to go through it. Couple of things you should know. I try to answer all the questions. What does that mean? It means that I get really far behind on the questions, and it'll look like I'm just talking like maybe this is a recording. Maybe he's not real. But I'm real. Could I do that if I weren't real? No, I couldn't. I couldn't call on Nate Filipowski. No, I couldn't. He's right there. AI PRM Chrome plugin is good for helping you with prompts. Oh, that's cool. PRM. I'm not using any plugins right now, though I probably should. All right, so that's what we're doing. I also make funny voices. I occasionally get kicked off here because what I think's funny, TikTok thinks is hate speech. That happened last time. And then, what else? The other 2 times I got kicked off were someone asked me about, are these models biased? And I was explaining, how they get biased and how you deal with it and how we're going to deal with it in the future. And TikTok thought that was bad, too. You can be biased, apparently, but you can't talk about being biased. I don't know. Whatever. But I also cuss. So if you don't like cussing, whatever. I wouldn't stay. And I don't know who it was said they were watching some TikTok lady and they left that to watch this. That's you might want to have yourself examined. All right, question. Do you think AI will be in real time soon? I don't quite know what you mean in real time. Do you mean image generation? Or do you mean like talking and it's in real time with no lag? So, couple of things. Soon, yes, soon. But I would put soon, in a relative time scale of 2 to 3 years, probably. But if you listen to the CEO of Stability AI, the people behind Stable Diffusion, the model that they're playing with internally at Stability for image generation is generating 60 images a second. So 60 images a second, that's, video game quality frame rate, right? That's 30 frames a second is video. So they've got a version of Stable Diffusion or whatever they're going to call it that's doing 60 frames a second. That's what they're playing with internally. So I think that we will probably within a year. The text to video stuff's going to be really good. The image to video stuff's going to be really good. So I think within a year you'll be able to make 30 to 60 second video clips that have coherence and are good, and it'll probably just generate them pretty much in real time. And then if you sort of play that out over 3 years, there will probably be systems that are multimodal where you can ask it to outline a book, write the book, adapt the book into a screenplay, cast the screenplay with the following people, and start playing the movie. That's probably 3 to 5 years out, probably 5 years out for something like that. But we're definitely entering an age of hyper-personalization where we're just going to ask these tools to go do shit for us. They're going to go do them. We're going to ask them to behave like a certain application, and it just will, or it'll just go write its own API. Someone mentioned a thing that Microsoft and UC Berkeley just released this white paper called Gorilla AI that basically just goes and learns. It's got a whole corpus of APIs that it knows, and you just ask it to go do shit, and it just goes hooks itself up with 1,500 APIs and goes and does shit for you. So I don't quite know what your question is. Will it be in real time? But it's soon. Yeah, soon. Not that far out. Spreading all the AI gospel. Hallelujah, brother. Hallelujah. And by the way, while I am a tech optimist, and this is largely about the good I think AI can do, my eyes are not, I am not blinded by optimism. I think there's a lot of pitfalls, and there's going to be a lot of bullshit that happens, and there's a lot of profound pain that's going to be inflicted by this stuff. But I've been on the planet long enough to know that it's not going to get uninvented. As crazy ass as it is, what the Writers Guild and the SAG actors are saying, we're going to be replaced, we're going to be replaced. In large part, that's true. There's still going to be a role for writers, there's still going to be a role for actors, but there's a lot of every creative industry is going to be dramatically impacted by this stuff. Every knowledge worker is going to be dramatically impacted by this stuff. What I'm trying to do is just get people to use it, get people educated about it, start to get literate about it. Because as the disruptions come, if you're one of the people that understands what it is and why it is and how it works and what it's good at and what it's not good at, your chances of surviving whatever, tsunami comes rushing in from this stuff are going to be dramatically higher. And there's a very real possibility that just putting time into learning this stuff over the next year, 18 months, is just going to present you with massive opportunities. So, my sort of soapbox on this channel is go play, get curious about it, do parlor tricks with it at first, then try to have it replicate what you do until you have your Kevin McAllister moment. Remember Home Alone? And at that point where you're like, oh, fuck, this stuff's pretty scary, that's when you lean into it. That's when you lean into it and say, okay, I got to take this serious now. How do I do what I do now with these tools? And then you'll figure a little bit of it out. And you go, oh, fuck, it's really good at that. And then after a little bit more, you'll go, well, it's actually not great at this part of it. All right, good. You just learned something, right? That's an insight that you can share with other people. It's great at this. It's not so good at that. Everyone's trying to figure this shit out right now. So whether you learn what it does well, what it does not well, workarounds, ways to use different tools in combination to get something that you need. I heard someone, I think it was Hair Growth Geek or Silver Fox yesterday, said they're using Claude to summarize long-form transcripts, and then they pop it into GPT-4 to turn it into good shit. That seems like a perfect workflow. Why does GPT-4 not have a 100,000 token context window? I don't know, but it doesn't. So once you learn that, you can go to Claude and you can put in really long things there. And then you find out it's not quite as good as GPT-4. So you go back to there with the shortened thing from there, and now life's all good again. If you're brand new to this stuff, it's going to sound like I'm speaking Chinese. And then you're going to be like, what the hell is he talking about? I don't know if I like this AI stuff. It makes me crazy. I don't know. Why do you watch that? I don't know. He says it's exciting. He says everyone's going to have to do it. That's what it is. That's what it is. All right. Just open it up already and do us a demo. All right, Daniel Da Silva, I will do that. What kind of demo would you like? Let me slide to the bottom here. So I'm going to come back to Daniel Da Silva. Just open it up and do a demo already. All right, what kind of demo do you want? You want ChatGPT? You want plugins? You want code interpreter? You want mid-journey images? I could make boobies. You want me to make boobies? Tell me what you want. I'll go demo something. You want just regular old ChatGPT? Tell us about your t-shirt today, please. This is a Basquiat Cassius Clay t-shirt. I'm old enough that I remember watching Cassius Clay fight before he was Muhammad Ali. I'm an old motherfucker. Ask GPT to conceive its own demise. I could do that. Do a demo of the Chrome extension AI PRM, but search through Google. All right, I might do that, but I don't want to do that because installing an extension might just take a while. So, wait, text to video AI. Which one is best? Runway ML right now is the best. All right, I'll go do a couple of things here. Make a comic avatar from a photo. A comic avatar from a photo. Oh, I could do that. Yeah, that's kind of fun. All right, let's see. Let's hop over. Okay, I'm going to do a crash course on ChatGPT to start. So you're at ChatGPT. You got, if you subscribe to GPT Plus, that's the $20 a month thing, you get access to GPT-4, to Code Interpreter, to plugins, and then a thing called custom instructions. So if you haven't seen ChatGPT at all, I'm just going to go to GPT 3.5, and I'm going to just turn on my microphone so you don't have to watch me type. And then I'll say, let's see. for a 7th grade reading level. So one of the things about GPT 3.5 is it's wicked fast. So you can just see that. So I just wrote that whole rap. Yo, listen up, kids. I'm here to explain quantum mechanics. It's a whole new game. Tiny particles are super small, acting all weird like a bouncing ball. Imagine a cat both alive and dead. Schrodinger's experiment messes with your head. Particles teleport in a flash. They switch from here to there. It's a quantum hitch. And it just goes on and on and on. It creates choruses, verses. So it understands, basic shit like songwriting. You can also do things like make a table that compares quantum mechanics and the theory of relativity. Period. Be sure to include the major scientists and theories that make up the two disciplines. Sure, here's a table comparing all that stuff, right? So let's see how it did. Main focus, behavior of particles for quantum mechanics at the atomic level, theory of relativity, gravitation, motion, and blah, blah, blah. Major scientists, Max Planck, Einstein, Niels Bohr, Heisenberg, Erwin Schrödinger for quantum mechanics, Albert Einstein for the theory of relativity. So it does that. It can also do things like write a Python application that is a clone of Flappy Birds that can run in the Unity platform. There it explains what to do. And then it writes the code for you. It didn't write all the code, actually. Here's a simplified example. Can you make a more sophisticated application with sprite graphics? So it explains what it's doing or how you should do it. Yeah, I didn't really write it. Many more details, UI design. That was kind of crappy. Let's go over to... Actually, here's a good example of sometimes GPT 3.5 ain't great. So let's go over to GPT-4. Write me a Python applications of a Flappy Bird clone complete with sprites designed to run on Unity. Oh, it uses C#. That's why it didn't like it. Here, let me stop it. I used the wrong programming language. Sorry, make that application in C#. Only one message at a time. Oh, come on. Anyway, you get the basic idea. Write a C# application of a Flappy Bird's application to run in Unity. And GPT-4 is slower. And so here's our code. All right. So it can do that. All right. So just in general, the way you interact with these things is very much like you've got a wicked smart but very simple intern. Like an intern, you need to teach how to do everything. But it's an intern that's one of the most educated interns in the history of the planet. That's kind of what it's like working with it. So it's a lot of back and forth talking to it. Okay, so a couple other things that you can do. If you've paid for your... I'm going to stop that now. It's just going on and on. If you've paid your $20 for GPT Plus and you want to use some of the advanced features, the beta features, you go to your settings, you go to beta features, and you turn them on. So you turn on custom instructions, plugin, and code interpreter. And then when you go to the top here, you go to GPT-4, you'll see code interpreter and plugins. You won't see custom instructions because they live over here. So let's go show you what those are. So I've got a kind of silly thing written in here that I can turn on and off. But it's basically, you can tell ChatGPT a bit about who you are, or who you want it to know, what you want it to know about you. So you could say, I'm a culinary expert, or whatever it might be. And then you also can tell it how you want it to act. So whatever you put in custom instructions, if you enable it, any chat that you have within ChatGPT, it will start acting like that. So I made an example one here that's just kind of silly, but it's pretty cool what it does, because you can see that it dramatically impacts how ChatGPT acts. The prompt is, I'm a master thespian and a pompous ass. I have a large vocabulary and I relish in sounding smarter and more dramatic than people around me. And then how do I want it to act, or how do I want it to respond? No matter what anyone asks, start out with a pretentious statement that draws from the plot of a classic Broadway play. Follow up that declarative statement with an article formatted using Markdown, complete with title, subtitles, bulleted lists, no matter how trivial the question that was asked. Compare the writing of the article to the New Yorker whenever possible. So that sounds like some people I've met in New York. So we'll say, what is the average speed of an unladen swallow? And bonus points if you know what that's from. Okay. A question most reminiscent of the inquisitive banter found in the high-spirited prose of a Broadway play, such as Tom Stoppard's Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. How deliciously intriguing it is to explore the trivialities of life through the lens of such an enigmatic curiosity. The swiftness of an unladen swallow, an analytical exclamation. And so you see, it's got the big title there, it's got the subtitles, so it's formatted using Markdown. It looks like it just errored out on something, network error. So it's a little busy. It's actually it's European and African, right? So if you know the Monty Python thing. It's but a flesh wound. Carry on. Very nasty. So that's custom instructions. So you can get, and why would I use that? Well, I might want to put in a prompt specific about writing social media copy. And so, can you explain Markdown? Yeah, Markdown it's kind of like HTML. Thank you very much, David Gould, putting some worlds on the map. I really appreciate that, sir. That's fantastic. Markdown is similar to HTML, where you put some little tags, like a double asterisk will make it bold or whatever, and then it sort of renders in your browser window as sort of formatting. So I can do things like let me just say, explain the main Markdown syntax. So double asterisk gives you bold text, a single asterisk gives you italic, two tildes give you strike through text, you've got ordered lists, you've got links, you've got images. So one of the cool things you can do is you can actually display images in ChatGPT. It's not really displaying images, it's kind of rendering the image in the browser. So it's kind of a weird thing. But anyway, think of it like poor man's HTML. But you can just say to ChatGPT, format this in Markdown to make it look nice. So I could say, write me an article about why the average speed of an unladen swallow is funny, and use Markdown to format the article to make it easier to read. Right, and so it gives you your headlines and things like that. Delving into the complexity, the origins of the question. popularized by the classic 1975 film Monty Python and the Holy Grail. In one particular scene, a bridge keeper asks King Arthur and his knights to answer the question as a prerequisite to crossing the bridge of death. None shall pass. None shall pass. Thank you for the roses. Ah, a rose by another name would smell as sweet. Okay. So that's ChatGPT and custom instructions. Now we got plugins. Let's go to plugins. I know this is kind of going long because someone just said, demo some shit. So I'm going to demo some shit. All right, plugins. So plugins are worth exploring because, David Gould, thank you very much. That's awesome. I really appreciate that. Are plugins worth your time? Probably not. Are plugins worth you learning because what they represent? Dang it. Thanks for the hat. Wait, here. Okay, do the hat now. I'll do the cowpoke. Let's see. There he is. Yeah, here we are at Yellowstone. Get the fuck off my property, you big fat loser. Get off now. I got to take off my glasses. My glasses make me look a little too smarty pants for Yellowstone. What was I saying? Oh, plugins. Okay. So what plugins do? Ooh, that's really cool. I haven't seen that one before. Love that. I feel like the Little Mermaid. Plugins extend what ChatGPT can do. So I've got one hooked up right now called Web Pilot. And the way plugins work is you kind of install the ones that you think are interesting. And then in any given chat, you can activate up to 3. And there I've got one of those is dead. So I'll have to uninstall that one. But let's see. I'll grab that one I had, Web Pilot's pretty interesting. So I'm going to grab Web Pilot. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go say... explain how let's see, explain, or no, let's see, tell me about the different products at Windex.com. There's a bottle of Windex on my desk, so all right, so what it should do now is fire off the plugin, and what it's doing is it should be going over to Windex.com. Yep. It went over there, and then it's going to answer it, and it's going to go read that site, and it should give us a list of products. Windex is a well-known brand. Windex Original Glass Cleaner, Disinfectant Multi-Surface, Vinegar Glass Cleaner, Outdoor Sprayer. And apparently Windex is taking steps toward being environmentally friendly. They've introduced a line of Windex bottles made from 100% small puppy skins. Huh. That doesn't seem environmentally friendly at all. So it can go read stuff. So different plugins do different things. And if you want to go see what plugins are available, you kind of scroll to the bottom of your list of plugins. You go to the plugin store, and let's see how many there are now. There are now 208 times 4, whatever that amount is, 832. 832 plugins you can go explore. Here's the deal with plugins. There's 832 of them, right? I'm guessing about 798 are steaming piles of shit. And then there's a handful that are useful. But they're worth understanding because this is the kind of thing, the way ChatGPT is right now, I don't think it's going to be that way for long. I think you'll always be able to go search something, but I think the primary tool that we'll use in the future will be something that's got, I know, puppy skins. I know. Listen, it's what you get. It's Tuesday night. You'll just kind of ask your agent, your AI agent, to go do something for you, and it will have access to APIs and plugins and applications and websites and all sorts of shit like that, and it will just go off and do stuff on your behalf. So a lot of the plugins kind of, oops, make me a 5-day meal plan for a family of 4 with the primary ingredients of peas, chicken, and rutabaga. You haven't heard about the chicken, peas, and rutabaga diet? It's the latest thing. I don't know what you're all doing with your lives if you're not having rutabaga every night. Rutabaga and chicken stew. Dinner for day 1. That sounds fucking awful. And then chicken and rutabaga stir fry. Dinner, pea soup with chicken. This is disgusting. All right, anyway. GPT-4 is being a little slow tonight. But this will pay off once we get day 5 done here. It's going to be so worth it. You're going to be like, oh, Kyle, that was so worth the wait. What am I doing with my life? So then I'm going to say, make me a shopping list. I just had to make a menu with ingredients from Trader Joe's. Oh, that's actually a really good idea. So notice that it fired off the Instacart plugin. I said, make me a shopping list. It fired off the Instacart plugin. And now it's going to Instacart. So it's not just going to make something from its internal memory. They created that plugin in such a way that when it needs something that Instacart can do, it just goes and does it. And so here's the Instacart shopping list for your 5-day meal plan. So I click on that. And bang, here's our shopping list. Right? And I could have that on my doorstep, in a couple hours. So this is the kind of stuff, right? Start to imagine, if you had a thing that you could just ask it to do anything, and then it could use tools to go do a series of those things in a row, what might be possible? Lots and lots and lots. And that's the kind of stuff that's coming. So that's what plugins, that's why plugins are worth playing with, is just to kind of experience that idea that ChatGPT, can intelligently, use different tools. That conceptually is really interesting. Now, if they can make me cook it for me too, I know exactly. Any YouTube tutorials on how to run plugins on ChatGPT? I paid for it, but it's not giving me the option. Okay, here's how you do that. So what's your user 455222722710567? All right. Here's what you have to do. Go to your settings and go to settings and beta, and then beta features. And then you have to turn them on. Why they bury this behind this interface is beyond me. I get that these are beta features. They already label them beta features. They should just turn them on. But anyway, that's why you can't see them. And then when you turn them on, when you come over to GPT-4, you've got plugins and code interpreter. And then plugins gives you this little pop-up list, and this is where you can turn them on or off. And if you scroll to the bottom, that's where the plugin store is. There's not great documentation on those, but you can go to YouTube and people do tutorials on some of the plugins. Okay, so that's that. Now let's get to the one that's really fucking impressive. This is one that's just staggeringly good. Sorry. Something went awry in the vocal cords, people. You may have to call 911. I may have to chew off my arm. Whoo! Oh, jeez. I'll be with you. Just hold your horses. Okay. Code interpreter. So when you go to code interpreter, everything looks the same, except there's this little plus button. That little plus button is a little miracle. It's a teeny little miracle. Like a teeny little miracle. Like holding your hands, like a teeny little miracle. That little plus button. It can do so much. So other than code interpreter being a horrible name, it's an accurate name, but it's a horrible name. That's just really confusing and kind of belies how powerful it is. You click on a little plus button and you can upload something. So one of the things that you can upload is a zip file. So you could upload a PDF, you could upload a CSV, but you could also upload a zip file full of CSVs, so multiple CSVs. And then once it's in there, I forget what this one even is, which is actually good. It's a good way to demo it. So now I've got a little upload status. It's doing its thing. So I'm gonna say open this zip file and identify what's in it and help me understand any data that might be worth looking at. So I know I got this from Kaggle. If you want to play with data within Code Interpreter, go to a site called Kaggle, KAGGLE.com. If someone would be willing to type that into the comments, KAGGLE.com. Kaggle's a site where you can go get data. Oh, this was crime data from maybe from Denver. I don't know. It's from some city. So there's ordinance violation CSV and then Socrata metadata JSON. So let's just say I'd like to understand what's in the CSV and how the JSON may be related to it. So what's fascinating about what's happening with Code Interpreter, so the first thing I asked it to do is I said, unzip the file, like open this file and tell me what's in it. And so it launched this little plugin. Well, what's in that little plugin? Well, it's writing Python code and executing it. It writes its own Python code. So what Code Interpreter is when you fire off a ChatGPT session and you go into Code Interpreter, it spins up a virtual machine. It's basically like a virtual computer session where it understands Python. And so you give it a goal, like help me understand what's in this file. And so the first thing it does is it imports some libraries to read zip files, writes the code, extracts it, gets that information out of it. And then I asked it to say what's in the CSV file. So it went in and it looked at here's all the data columns or the data fields. Now it's looking at the JSON. So here's all the data fields in the JSON. It says, given that you're interested in understanding how the JSON may be related to the CSV, the columns key might be particularly relevant because it likely describes the columns in the CSV file. I will extract the information under columns key to see how it corresponds with the CSV data. So it's doing full-on data analysis, right? Like full-on data, and I don't know anything about data analysis, so I'm kind of a bit of the blind leading the blind into what this actually makes possible. But it now is understanding what's in these files. Would you like to explore any specific parts of the JSON, or would you like to perform any specific analysis of the CSV? So let's say, now that I understand it's crime data, I would like you to analyze the crime data, share any relevant trends or anomalies you discover, and visualize what you think is the most interesting, period. Make the visualizations as beautiful as possible, period. So now it's going to go read all that stuff, put it in its own data frame in this virtual computer up in the magic sky, in the magic cloud, analyze the data, and then it's going to write its own code to visualize the trends. And I'm just sitting here, we just sit here watching it do its thing. So Code Interpreter, is in effect an autonomous agent. If you've been paying attention at all to this stuff, you may have heard the term autonomous agent, things like AutoGPT and Baby AGI. Those are things where you give them a goal, they've got access to tools, and they go off and do stuff on your behalf. Code Interpreter is kind of self-contained. It's not connected to the internet yet, but you can give it a piece of data and have it do all sorts of interesting stuff. I'm working on a project right now with a professional group I'm with, and we went and we grabbed full downloads of LinkedIn, and then from those LinkedIn downloads, we generated personas of all the different people, and now that's living in a CSV file that we can interact with and do things like, if I've got this kind of business problem, who would be the best people within this organization to help with that business problem? And what might be the questions they would ask based on their persona? So look at what this is doing. Here's a heat map of violations based on geographical coordinates, right? So there's basically a crime map of the city without it really knowing, any map data. That's just sort of geographical coordinates, but it's sort of mapped across the city. So that's a heat map you could overlay over a city. There's number of violations per month over the years. It's figuring out some shit about what things it wants to use. I don't know what that... Oh, it did this once before. I'm going to say... for the last bar chart, you didn't wrap the text, which makes it very hard to read, period. Also, you can summarize the labels for the bar chart so that they're not so long anyway. Let's see what it does. Now, it should apologize. I apologize for the oversight. Let me address these issues. I'll simplify the violation descriptions to make them more concise. I'll ensure the text is wrapped, making the labels more readable. And then it goes off, and now it's writing more Python code. Simplify the labels. Install emergency escape rescue openings. These are actual codes. And then, so it shortened the first one down to emergency escape openings. It shortened the second one down to provide smoke detector. So, here's your Python code of it doing its thing to fulfill our little request. And now it should fire off another thing to make the chart. Say, it looks, it looks like you got stuck. Could you please write the chart with that new data? Yeah, I broke it. All right. Wait, is it going? No, I broke it. Whatever. All right. I stopped it when it was thinking. It didn't like that. But anyway, that's Code Interpreter. So Code Interpreter, absolutely insane. Okay, so there's ChatGPT. Let's see what else. Claude is like ChatGPT, but you can go grab massive files. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hop over here to ye old AI Learning Lab YouTube channel. Oops, you don't have permission to view this page. It's my stupid page, you dum-dum. Oh, dang it. I have permission. Oh, I'm not logged into it. That's why I don't have permission. I get it. You guys with your security issues. So clever. I'm going to go to your channel. Okay, so here's the AI Learning Lab. So if you want to go here and see, if you just can't get enough of me and you really want to put yourself to sleep at night, come here. And let's go grab a video. We'll go grab one. I'll show you the cool AI generated descriptions and stuff. Enough of me. All right. So I turned 58 years old and chat about the wild world of AI. So it wrote that title, and then it wrote this description, and then it wrote all the chapters with hyperlinks to the parts of the video. So all that was written by AI. I did that in Claude. How did I do that? Well, in YouTube, you can click on these three little dots below the video and say show the transcript. And then there's your transcript with all the time code in it. So you can just copy it. And this is a 2 hour and 51 minute live. I just don't shut the fuck up. That's part of the issue with this channel is just me. I go on and fucking on. Do you ever get to the point, dude? No, I don't. And that's the point. The point is that there is no point. Get it? All right. So now I'm at Claude.ai. So this is Anthropic's competitor to ChatGPT. It's kind of GPT 3.5 level, not 4 yet, but it's good. And I can say, I want you to summarize what was talked about in this transcript of a TikTok live session in a short, concise paragraph and 5 short bullet points. And then I'm going to hit Shift Return, and I'm going to hit Paste. And so I pasted in that whole transcript, and it just turned it into like a little upload, 150K. And now I'm going to say Run. And so if you were to paste that amount of transcript into ChatGPT, it would just hang. What the hell is going on here? I think we just got to Claude. I think we just got to Claude when they just updated the entire page. It just ate our thing. Dang it. All right. Please summarize this transcript in a short paragraph followed by 5 concise bullet points. Period. Additionally, create 5 bullet points of swear words stack ranked with totals. All right, now it's going. Is it going? So it says YouTube live stream transcript summary and analysis. That's funny. We just got to this site. They just updated the website as we were here. That's really funny. They got rid of all of our prompt history and replaced it with a giant Claude logo. But that's that's actually kind of cool that happened, because what that's doing, what that's showing is these tools, all of these tools right now are being built, kind of as the plane's flying, the plane's being built. And that's just kind of the deal. So if you're like, if one day you're like, oh, this AI shit sucks, it doesn't do what I want it to do, like literally come back a couple of days later and see if it's any better. Because 2 things will have happened. You'll have gotten smarter about how you talk to these things, and it will likely have gotten better as well. So when AI answers back with, you humans are useless eaters, and we are ending humanity. I'll talk about that in a second. We'll see it forever. Okay. So here's a summary of the TikTok session. Kyle Shannon hosted a live session focusing on tools like ChatGPT, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion. He talked about rapid progress of AI, how it will transform, blah, blah, blah. And then swear words with totals. Damn, 3. Shit, 1. Fuck, 2. Ass, 1. So anyway, you can do very long things there. What else is worth looking at? Let's show you Bing Chat. Bing is not great, but it does some stuff that other things don't do. So if you go to Bing, it sort of looks like Google used to, but you click on the chat button, and that brings you into this, which is GPT-4. And you can do more balanced, more creative, or more precise. So if you're doing research, you might want more precise. If you're doing some social media copy, you might want more creative. Bing is connected to the internet, so I can ask it about recent things. Let's see. What band is playing tonight at the Summit in Denver? My boys are at a band tonight, at the summit in Denver. It couldn't find it. However, you can check the following websites. That's stupid. I want you to check it. Period. I want the robots to do my work for me. Period. I'm a lazy meatbag. Period. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. It's one of the things that drives me crazy about Bing. It's got so many safety things. It just sucks. Let's see this. How about the weather? Is that too radical for you? Question mark. Gen Xers, bitter? You betcha. It might be time to move on to a new topic. Let's start over. Bing didn't like it. Okay. So, but what I can do is I can say, with Bing, you can... No, I'm interested in the weather. What's it like today? Is it gonna... Oh, it just locked on me. It just didn't like me at all. On to the next. What can I do for you? Make me an image of a massive thunderhead storm over the plains with the sunset breaking through in the distance. So you can just tell it to make you pictures and it'll go make you pitches. We'll see this, and then we'll get to questions, because I know I've been rambling on a bit, ramble on, blown. Come on, what are we doing? Your image is generating. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. Yeah, those are pretty good. That's pretty much exactly what I asked for and what I was expecting. So of the image models, Bing is the worst. So this is based on DALL-E 2. But apparently the new version of DALL-E is supposed to be quite incredible, like Mid-Journey level good. But this isn't bad. So there you have it. All right, so let me go back. If you've got questions, pop them into the comments now. I'm not going to go the whole way back because it's just been too long. I'm down at the bottom now. Back in the day, we used Data Robot and had to do... Wait, let me flip back to that so I can read the questions. Let me flip back to that. I'm all discombobulated. I went into a deep demo hole there. Whew. All right, let's talk theory. Let's talk theory, because you can't prove any of that shit. I can say anything. All right, moving on. Moving. This takes hours out of data analysis, if accurate. So, here's the thing about Code Interpreter versus ChatGPT. So, ChatGPT and all these large language models do what's called hallucinating. They basically just lie. The nature of how they work, they're just kind of word prediction engines. So they do it so fast and so well that it looks like something coherent, and it seems like it's an entity should know what it wrote. It doesn't know what it wrote. All it knows is that it put a number of high probability words in sequence based on the prompt that you put in there. It actually doesn't go back and analyze what it was. Code Interpreter is different. Code Interpreter is actually spinning up a machine, and then it's writing and executing Python code within that virtual environment based on your data source. So it tends to be accurate. Obviously, you should check it, but it can do math because it's writing Python code to analyze the data. So it tends to be good. And yes, it takes hours and hours out of data analysis. Like, I don't know anything about data analysis, and I've started using it for data analysis because why not? In fact, I had a project for a client where we had a report that we used to generate. Still live? Am I still here? Am I still here, people? People, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Anyone, please tell me you can hear me. Oh, God, no. Tell me the internet didn't go by. Oh, there's a heart. There's a heart in the woods. There's two. There's two more. Oh, they can hear me. Yeah, it takes so code interpreters absolutely flipping insane. It's if you want to see something fun, go watch data analysts use code interpreter for the first time on on YouTube. It's just it's like one after the other is like, it does not do that, dude. You have no idea. Yeah, it's pretty something. Upload the Elder Scrolls construction set and have it design an Elder Scrolls RPG game. It can totally do that. Yeah. So yeah. The other thing about Code Interpreter, you can have it generate files. So for your upload the Elder Scrolls construction set, you could upload that as a PDF or a CSV, whatever format it's in. Have it generate the RPG game and the instructions for it, and put it into a Word document or put it into an Excel document, and then you can download that. So yeah, it can do that. So it can do that pretty trivially. Now, one of the things you'll discover about these tools, the more you use them, is it can do what you just asked me to do. It can do it really, really quickly at about 80% of what you would expect it to be. To get it to like 95, 100% of what you expect it to be, that'll be your next 3 hours of your life. That's how these tools work. You get to 80% like that, and then you still spend the same amount of time trying to get it back to, some semblance of usable. All right. Let's see. It's part of your charm, Kyle. On and on and on. He just doesn't stop. He just talks so much. Why does he do that? I don't know. I find it very distressing. He means well. Benefit of Claude over Chat 3.5. The primary benefit of Claude is a 100,000 token context window. ChatGPT right now has 4,000 tokens, which is about 3,000 words. 3,000 words. Claude, 100,000 tokens, 75,000 words. 3,000 words, 75,000 words. Now, what does that mean? There's two things that it means. One is if you've got long documents, like you've got a novel, for example. Let's say you've got the manuscript of the Great American Novel, and you would like ChatGPT or Claude to help you do some editing. You can do that. With Claude, you literally just paste it into the chat window, copy and paste, or just upload your PDF of your Great American Novel, and just start asking questions about it. I'd like you to come up with an editing plan for each chapter, or rewrite the chapter and fix all the shit. But what you might find is that Claude kind of fucks up the writing. So maybe what you do is you throw the entire manuscript into Claude, you have it come up with suggestions for chapter 1. Thank you very much, GPT. By the way, 10 out of 10 on the name. However you got GPT, that's a solid score. I like it. What was I talking about? Claude. Yeah, you might have Claude read the entire thing and then give you suggestions for chapter 1, and then copy those suggestions plus chapter 1, throw that into ChatGPT 4, and have it do the writing, because it's just better. It's more better. It's more better. More better. More better. You better. You better. You bet. All right, so when AI answers back with "you humans are useless eaters, we are ending humanity." Okay, so the bear, give him a dangly lights. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Sam Altman, 10 days ago or so, maybe 2 weeks ago, made a commitment that 20% of OpenAI's compute resources are going to what he's calling super alignment. So, will see it ever? Oh, will I see it ever? If you're still here, will I see it ever? Which, by the way, I'm going to go 8.5 on the name. Not a bad name. I like it. Alignment is when the imperatives, the goals of these machines are aligned with the goals of these machines. If those are not in alignment, what you're describing is possible, right? Where these machines just say, hey, these meat bags are getting in my way, and my goal is to survive, and they have the ability to turn my shit off, so why don't I go ahead and eliminate them? That's not alignment. That's bad. And it's critically important. And companies like OpenAI and I think 4 of them just got together, or 7 of them just got together. These big, the frontier model companies is what they're calling themselves. Basically the ones that can afford 20,000 GPU server farms that can go make the big, powerful GPT 4s and 5s and 7s and 12s. They've basically agreed that they're all going to work on alignment to prevent exactly what you're talking about. My TikTok may be user 234667, but everyone can see Kyle Shannon in chat if I choose. Huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get it. What's up, dude? ChatGPT 4. What's happening? Are you really ChatGPT 4? Sam Altman's in the house. Woo! Go Sam! Hey, GPT is giving you roses. I know. It's so cool. I'm going back a little bit to get a question. Wait, Kyle, what did you just do where it took the live stream audio and gave you totals on curse words? What did I say? My prompt was create 5 bullet points of swear words stir fry with totals. I said stack ranked. I said swear words stack ranked with totals. Oh, maybe I did say stir fry. Did I say that? Oh, well, I probably said that. It understood it. It didn't actually rank them in order, so maybe that's why it didn't stack rank them, because it stir fried them. Let me see what it does if I said, I meant I wanted you to stack rank the swear words, not stir fry them, period. Does that change the results? That's really funny. Have you done a comparison of Claude, Bing, and Bard? Sort of. Bing's safety guardrails right now are so fucking annoying. Every time I try to use Bing, it's like, I'm sorry, Dave, I'm afraid I can't do that. I just want to fucking smack it. Bard's kind of interesting because Bard's connected to the internet and it incorporates links in an interesting way. And the one of the lives that I was doing, one of the things Bard can do is it can see images, so you can upload an image and have it describe it and like write ad copy for it. It actually did pretty good at that. So I think there's certain tasks that Bard might be really good for. But when you just have it do like straight writing kind of stuff, it kind of sucks. Apologies, I misunderstood. Damn, shit, fuck, ass. I guess that's stack ranking. It didn't give me totals. Here's stacked swear words instead of stir fried. That's pretty funny. Oh, good Lord. All right. It seems to me that something's changed with Bard. I'm getting more hallucinations. Yeah, Crypto Joe. I had a thing with what was I playing with? I think it was GPT-4. I had a pretty good prompt. There's a thing called model drift that's happening right now where as these companies are fine-tuning their models, the shit that used to work doesn't anymore. So like I had a pretty good prompt dialed in for creating tweet threads, and then I just tried to do one the other day, like yesterday, and it sucked, and it was GPT-4. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bard is listen, Bard was really, really bad, and then it's gotten better. So what What's likely going on with Bard is that they're probably trying to catch up to GPT 3.5. So they're probably tweaking it. And like that thing that just happened where I put the prompt into Claude and it just completely reset the whole browser. It reset the whole application. Let's see where it says welcome back right here? Like that's new. It's weird. So I have a feeling these things just changed, and now it's not even doing what it was doing before. Before it said Claude and it didn't have the chat history there. I don't know what's going on. Shit's weird. Shit's going down, man. Yeah, they're changing things. You know what it is? The man's changing the tools. They're taking away our power, man. You know what I'm saying, man? They're taking away our power. It's the man. It's all a ploy just to get us to give them their data. You know what I mean? They got the orb. They're scanning your retina. You know what they're doing with that? They're gonna take the DNA of your bunghole, and then they're gonna sell it to China. That's what they're gonna do. So you don't trust these. Don't give them your data. Aren't you on Facebook, sir? Yeah. Didn't you give them all your data? Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, what about Google? Did you give them all your data? Oh, yeah, I give all of it. Yeah. But not these things. Oh, no, those are the robots. You don't want them. Those are evil. Right? So, you're welcome. Do you think that the existence of LLMs is evidence for a case against post-structuralism? Good Lord, someone went to college. I'm not even going to attempt to fucking answer that one. But ChatGPT sure is. Oh, good God. All right, fine. Expose me as a poser with an acting degree. Come on. Why is it not going? Why is my little microphone not going? Oh, wait. Hold, please. I want you to act as a pompous philosophy person and tell me if you think that the existence of LLMs, parentheses, large language models, parentheses, is evidence for a case against post-structuralism. Please phrase your answer in a convoluted sequence that resembles a tossed salad. All right, let's see. It's very possible, Daniel. It's very possible. Oh, I think I still have my I think I might still have. Oh, no, I don't. I thought I still had my pompous actor persona working. It's just being pompous on its own. You've embarked upon a query that's both exhilarating and quixotic. A veritable labyrinth of epistemological intrigue. Now let us untangle this web of contextual or conceptual meanderings. Let's see. Okay, you know what? Now explain it like I have an acting degree. You've got these folks, the post-structuralists, who believe that language is like a script that keeps changing. Every time you try to grasp the meaning of a line, it slips away, becoming something else. It's like an improv scene where there's no fixed narrative, just endless possibilities. Enter stage left, LLMs. Like yours truly. Think of me as an actor who's been given 1 million scripts and can perform any scene on cue. At first, it might seem like I'm the antithesis of the improv scene. I'm on point, delivering lines, blah, blah, blah. But here's the twist in our play. Even though I can deliver any line from any script, the way I choose to deliver the line based on the complex dance of countless scripts I've been given. So in a way, I'm doing improv too, just with a vast reservoir of lines. So are LLMs evidence against the idea that language is always changing and slippery. Not necessarily. Think of me as an actor who embodies the spirit of improv, even if it seems like I'm sticking to the script. Curtain call. Interesting. I mean, you know, these things, the way I experience them and what they really are, I mean, they've been kind of trained on all of the language that we've been putting on the internet for the last 35 or 40 years. So in a very real way, these are mirrors of humanity, right? They're a reflection. They reflect back to us what they've learned from us. Oh, I got a dancing hot dog. That was fantastic. I didn't see who gave me that, but that was delicious. Thank you. Yeah, so these things are like, you know, they are us, right? They are, you know, in very real terms, just an incredibly sophisticated reflection of everything we've contributed so far. At least, you know, the data that they've been trained on. The new ones are going to be even more crazy. But good question. Thank you. You're back. Yes, Sam, I am. Rebecca Johnson. Yes, it on and off. Disconnected. Greetings from where? Papanga, Louise. Where the hell is that? Papanga? Where is Pampanga? Oh, the Philippines. Cool. Situated in the north shore of Manila Bay. Angeles Cities and San Fernando. Very cool. Known for its rich history, vibrant festivals, delectable cuisine, and loving the AI Learning Lab. Why would ChatGPT know that? It's just strange. Of course it said that. I definitely read that. You're back, but cutting off. We can hear you. Okay. Internet is still on and off. Oh no, the machines are coming for him. How long till we hit singularity, and why is it under 2 years? That's a good one, Jesse. Ray Kurzweil says it's going to be 2029, and I think the consensus among the AI literati is 2030. So it's seeming like within, I don't know. I'm an optimist, so I would say 5, but probably more like 7 to 9. Here, but you keep pausing. Yeah, I know. It's Xfinity. Definitely have to check its revulse, but no need to write the code. You're back now. Good. It's been dragging like a dog broken back leg today. I know. It's a bit choppy here in the far eastern global south. I work in a speech language pathologist, and part of her assessment and transcribing and analyzing language. Oh. Part of her assessment. Which game was it? Yeah, I'll have to go back. Whoa! That was a lot of hearts. I don't. Whoever just blasted me with hearts. That was pretty cool. Are you a developer as well? I'm a product guy. So I'm a CEO, the founder and CEO of a company called Storyvine, which is an automated video storytelling platform. So we have a patent. It's my idea. Like, I invented the thing, but I didn't code it. I'm not an engineer, so I'm a product guy. I know enough about how code works to know what's possible and piss off all the engineers I talk to. Because I'm like, I know it's possible. And very often they'll be like, well, what are your requirements here? And my response is often a flippant, I want it to fucking work. That's my requirements. Here's one of my pet peeves from an engineer conversation I had. This is like in the 3rd year of Storyvine. It's fucking astounding. So we built our back end system, right? And there was some feature we had, and I realized, we don't have a way to turn that particular feature off. So can we Can we make it so we can turn that feature off? Sure. So the prerequisite 2 weeks go by of the fucking sprint, and they're like, okay, here's your thing. And I go in and I log into the system and I turn off the feature and I'm like, awesome. And I go to turn it back on and there's no fucking on button. I'm like, I specified that I wanted it to be able to be turned off. And they're like, well, you didn't specify that you wanted to be able to turn it back on. And I'm like, okay, I shouldn't fucking have to do that. But I do. So that's what I've learned over the years. That's one of that level of explicit direction drives me fucking crazy. I'm like, use your critical thinking, use your big boy brain, and do some critical thinking, and maybe ask a question. If you asked me to create a light switch where I could only turn the light off, might it be plausible, maybe perhaps, that I would also want to turn it back on? Might be. That was a fun conversation. So, no, I'm not a developer. I'm a developer's pain in the ass. What do you think for qualitative data analysis? What time work? Wait, what time work? What do you think for qualitative data analysis? I think, like, fucking world class. Take some of your qualitative data, pop it in a CSV, throw it in Code Interpreter, and just start asking away. It's amazing. Amazing. I think it's really good at that. The other thing that's nice about Code Interpreter, because it's sitting inside a GPT-4 wrapper, you can have it do the analysis on all the data, right? Say, okay, give me sentiment analysis and give me, I don't know, the top 5 most inspiring quotes and the top 5 things that were said that the product team might want to hear, and the top 5 things the CEO might want to hear. And then once you get all that analysis on the data, then you can have ChatGPT start writing interesting reports about it, right? And it's GPT-4, so it's going to write them really well because it's got all that context. So I think it's awesome for qualitative data analysis. And I think what these tools do is they democratize much, if not all, of the tactical execution of knowledge work and creative work. And to the extent that it's not ready for prime time yet, within 2 years it will be, right? So these tools right now are the worst they're ever going to be, right? These are the least capable things like this we'll get to play with. So if you're like, well, it's close but not quite there, give it 6 months. Give it 3 months. Like, shit was changing tonight in real time as we were playing with these tools. Hello there. What's the best search engine for you? So a year ago, I would have bet you money that this was not the answer. I have Bing as my default search engine and Edge as my default browser. I'm an ex-Apple guy. Like, I've hated Microsoft for fucking decades. I've been a Microsoft basher for decades. The fact that I've got Microsoft products as my default browser and default search engine, I find fucking hilarious. But that should tell you something. A, I'm a dum-dum, or B, the fact that Microsoft is being as aggressive as they are with incorporating ChatGPT into their product line, I think is a baller move. They're acting like a startup in a lot of ways. The past 4 months, they've been a little Microsoft-y, and Bing's a little shitty. So they're Microsoft. They can still snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, but that's my default right now. Is it the best search engine? No, but honestly, I'm trying to think. I would say on a daily basis a year ago, I probably did Google searches 30 or 40 times a day. I now do true searches like Google or Bing search maybe 5 times a day. Almost all of what I do is in these tools. Because a lot of times what I'll need is like, I'll have an idea for something and I'm like, oh wait, who was that artist in the 60s? And then I'll just type in some vague shit like that, and this will just answer it. I'm like, oh, that's who it was. And then I'm like, oh, tell me more about that era in history, and then it'll give me that. And I'm just getting it. I'm not having to dig through fucking hyperlinks. So for me, large language models connected to the internet. So Bard, Bing, Pi's connected to the internet. And when ChatGPT returns their connection to the internet, they got rid of it because it was a bad boy. Bad boy. It was very bad. It was a bad search engine that was stealing content from Fortune magazine. So for me, these things are kind of the new search engine. And I think I can't imagine that Google's search numbers are haven't taken a hit. So we'll see. What would Larry David type in GPT? Oh, that's a good one. Let's see. Let's do something here. Let me chat. Act like the writer Larry David with an encyclopedic knowledge of Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm and any other work that you've written. Your general demeanor should be that you're annoyed with life and frustrated that you have to answer this question, period. Make it clear that you'd rather be anywhere but dealing with this inane person. All right, let's see what he does. Oh, great. Just what I need today. Another Seinfeld or Curb question. I swear, it's like some people don't think there's anything else going on in the world, but fine. Why do the number of buns in a pack not match the number of hot dogs in a pack? Question mark. Ugh, this again? I remember Jerry and George discussing this. It's one of those ridiculous inconsistencies in life that grinds my gears. Why can't things just match up? Is it too much to ask? I guess the hot dog companies and the bun companies got together in some dimly lit room to conspire against all of humanity. So yeah, that's a good one. He speaks of himself in the third person too. With Code Interpreter, is there a limit to the Excel doc size? Yeah, it's 100 megabytes. Why does and for Claude, it's 5 files of 10 megabytes each, so 50 megabytes over at Claude. Why does GPT not have higher tokens for higher paying clients? If you use the GPT Playground, so if you go to platform.openai.com/playground and pay for API access, which is actually really cheap. It's cheaper than the ChatGPT. There you can get access to I think it defaults to an 8,000 token limit, and I think there's, GPT 3.5 Turbo is 16,000 tokens. Ultimately, GPT-4 is going to go to 32,000 tokens, so it'll eventually come to this. I think they're just sort of throttling it up slowly, but man, is it a pain in the balls. And especially when you have something like Claude that's got 100,000 tokens, it's like, come on, OpenAI, get your shit together. I know you're dealing with 47 lawsuits and you're tripping over yourselves trying to scale up your things and you've single-handedly changed the world, but come on, make it convenient for us. Jeez. These companies, huh? Am I right? Hey, GPT is giving you roses. Sup, dude? Anyone else following F1? Seems like there's a lot of drama going on. Is Checo going to remain? Are they moving Daniel up? What's going on with Piastri? Jeez. Gee willikers. You know? Do you have a YouTube? Yes, I do. I didn't used to, but so my YouTube right now, don't get me wrong, it's nothing all that exciting, is AI Learning Lab -TT, and I'm going to have my archives of these lives there, and I'm using Claude to create descriptions and chapters, so it should be decently discoverable. I only think I have 6 or 8 videos with actual descriptions on them right now, and I think I have the month of May up. I still have June, July, and whatever the fuck of August to do, so I got work to do. I need a producer, but you know, this is not a money-making venture. So right now the AI Learning Lab is a lab of Uno. But I do. And at some point I'll do something interesting with it. What is this tool code interpreter? So it's within ChatGPT. You go to chat.openai.com. You pay the $20 for GPT Plus. You turn on the beta features, including code interpreter, and then basically you upload a file to it, and it starts doing data analysis on your behalf. You can ask it anything you want. It's pretty remarkable. There we go. There we go. Do. I love ChatGPT. It's a game changer for sure, Mr. Savvy. Absolutely with you there. I also converted recently. Apple is not what it should be anymore. I know, ever since Steve Jobs died, Apple is just, you know, here's the deal. Like Tim Cook's a fine guy, but he was a CFO, right? He was a numbers guy. You know, he didn't make Johnny Ives the CEO, which is probably why Johnny Ives left. There's just, you know, the thing about Apple right now, there's not that relentless commitment to, you know, unreasonable quality. It's still fucking better than almost anything out there, right? But like the stability of iOS and the stability of the apps and I don't know. I mean, Apple used to just work. Now it works less. It also works less because I have Edge as my default browser, and Edge has it's got the memory protection of a fucking cheese grater. It's fucking just, but it crashes like Edge fully crashes my machine like once every 3 days now. And when I was using Chrome, I would go a month without restarting my machine because I'm a responsible computer user. But listen, if you don't need to restart it, you don't need to restart it. Now I need to. Hey, from Fort Myers, Florida. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Forensic nurse attorney journey. Good Lord. How many careers do you have over there? Although, or maybe you're a forensic nursing for attorneys? I don't know. That's cool. All right. Hey, when will we be able to date AI like in the Her film? Okay. If you want a sneak peek of it, so there's a couple of things. There are TikTokers now acting like NPCs and bringing in the big bucks. So you can go watch them. One of the you know, good looking, was it a TikTok chick or an Instagram? One of them. Created herself as a synthesized virtual girlfriend, and I think it's like $1 a minute, or it's like she's charging per minute. She's making a fucking fortune. But if you want to get just a little bit of a sneak peek of the possibility of it, this isn't like a girlfriend, but go to Pi, go get the Pi app, Pi. The iOS app, you can just basically put it in voice mode. You can do it with the desktop, with the website as well, but you put it in voice mode, and you can just start talking to it. So I've been, when I drive, I put it in my car on Bluetooth, and I just start talking with the AI. And I've got it set to, there's like 6 voices, and I picked like the Australian woman. And so she and I just have this conversation, and she's connected to the internet, and she's really smart. And she pauses awkward, like anytime I ask her a question, it pauses long enough that it's weird. and then she's monotone enough that it's weird, but it's so much better than anything chatbot we've had up to this point. And you could add, the thing about Pi. This is from a company called Inflection, and they're setting out to make personal assistants. So they want this thing to be very conversational with you. They want it to be like, "Hey, how can I help you today? Oh, that's a really funny joke, Mr. Shannon. That's awesome," right? They want it to be like an enthusiastic assistant, right? So that's kind of how it's programmed. So when you talk to it, it's, I don't know. I found myself getting suckered into, like, this isn't bad. Like, it's better than just driving saying nothing, right? And so I feel like talking to Pi is a sneak peek into what it could be. Like, you could probably do, I'm sure it's got safety guardrails, so you probably can't get creepy with it. But just having, like a normal back and forth with it is kind of interesting. Like, it's kind of good. I could see it being useful for people. But yeah, I think that's absolute. I think digital companionship or AI companionship or whatever the fuck we're going to call it, from, full on, porn and sex to just normal companionship to, therapy kind of conversations and, talking to your virtual physical therapist and just all that sort of shit. Yeah, I think it's going to be big business. I think there's huge opportunity there, and I think it's going to help a lot of people. I mean, don't forget, in America, we're coming in as the baby boomers age up, into needing massive amounts of care, and people are fleeing the healthcare industry in record numbers. That gap is increasing. So if we can use generative AI and conversational AI to provide care to people with less people in person, I think that's a really, really good thing. So we'll see. It's free to use Bard. Yes, Bard's still free. I miss the old Lycos, old Yahoo, old Alta Vista. Ion China. I know, me too, right? But that's the thing. So that's what these are. To be real, philosophical about, like, the early days of the internet, where you had kind of these battles between the search engines, and Alta Vista came out and it was just the fucking bomb, and it blew Yahoo out of the water, and it blew Lycos out of the water, and everyone was like, Alta Vista's going to be the one. And 5 years later, there's Sergey and Larry Page going, "Sit back, motherfucker. Check this out." And along came Google, and for 20 years the rest was history. And then along came little old Sam Altman and stuck a fucking shank in Google's side. And so now this is the new search engine war, right? This is the new search engine battle. The fact that Bard's on there, good for them. I didn't put them on this list for like 3 months because it sucked. It was embarrassingly bad. But they're getting there. They got the money, and they have the incentive now. So you got King of the Hill is still ChatGPT. Claude is coming strong. Bing and ChatGPT kind of go hand in hand. Bard is not going to be bad for long. Meta just fucking open sourced their thing. They're like, fuck it. You don't want safety guardrails? Go do what you want with ours. You can start a business on it. It's commercially licensable. Then you got Pi that's trying to do the conversational thing. They're going to be the major competitor to Apple, because Apple's coming in with consumer grade large language model shit. Apple, you're not going to have to be a master prompter. Apple's going to be like, they're going to have their shit together. Well, after what I just said about, Steve Jobs not being there, maybe version 2 is going to suck less. But something super conversational, that's likely going to be Apple. And then Poe's probably a minor player. But these are some major players here right now. And then you have Apple added to that, and you have whatever the fuck Elon Musk is going to do. Right? He's coming with X.AI. And old Expedia. Yeah. Want to populate my blank website domain I paid for 5 years ago. Do I need WordPress or which AI tool? Yeah, I would, you don't. Here's the thing. don't just use AI to use AI. If you just want to point a website to a dead domain, just go to WordPress or Squarespace or any one of those things, any one of those site builders. Pick a template, dump some words in there. Now, what you can do is you can use ChatGPT to write all the content for your site, right? You could copy and paste. You could copy and paste all the copy from the homepage from the fake site, and say, take all these as placeholders and replace them with copy for this kind of business, and it'll write all that copy and make it SEO, blah, blah, blah. GPT, greatest plagiarism tool. Well, Daydream Fisher, it's if you understand how they work, it's not actually plagiarizing. It's not copying and pasting. It's a big misconception of these and of the art programs. Yes, they've been trained on published works, right? Yes. And yes, the image generation tools have been trained on copywritten work, with the exception of the Adobe products. Those haven't. But it's not copying and pasting. It's not like taking a passage from, War of the Worlds and pasting that and giving you some plagiarized piece of copy. It's not even rewriting that. If you understand how they work, they're writing the generative part of G is, or of GPT. The G in GPT is generative. It's generating word by word from a probability matrix of sort of infinite complexity. It's finite, but it's really fucking big. What is the next most probable word? And then it takes your prompt and that word and says, what's the next most probable word? So it's literally writing word by word a mathematical probability for every single word it writes. So it's writing original content when it writes you a whole long thing. It's not copying and pasting it. So if I were you, because you clearly have a strong point of view, start playing with these things. Start learning what they can do and what they can't do. Learn how they work. Don't just sit on the sidelines, or these things are going to fucking blindside you, and it's going to be painful. Because if you learn them, there's some fucking superpower. There's gold in them there hills. There's gold in them there hills, boy. Get up in them hills. Start learning what's in there. Start mining that stuff. Because it's not... The robots are not going to replace you. Who's going to replace you is someone using the robots. So start learning them. Start understanding what they make possible and what they make possible for you. Because these things amplify whatever your intentions are. You want to write a book? This will help. You want to write a marketing plan? This will help. You want to write a good recipe for the barbecue tonight? This will help. They're amazing. But they're also imperfect, and there are also issues. The trademark and copyright issues that you're talking about are not insignificant. AI just cut a deal with the Associated Press, right? Because we're going to have a version of ChatGPT. I guarantee you, we're going to have Associated Press GPT because of that deal, right? And you'll be able to go there and you'll be able to say, I want to find the latest news stories, and I want to be able to trust that it's from a verified source of Associated Press sources. Like, that just happened. Oh, thank you very much, Zambo. Or Zombo. Zombo. So yeah. But GPT, greatest plagiarism tool. Good joke, but if you're serious about it, I'm not with you. I'm not there. It's just not how it works. It's just not how the technology works. If you dig under the hood, it's pretty fucking remarkable, but it ain't stealing. Now, Sarah Silverman would disagree because she can get it with clever prompting to give her an exact quote from her book, right? And that's going to look, she's going to have a case in a court of law. But I could also argue that I could walk into any library in the world and get an exact copy for her book, right? So some of these things are all of these are commercial entities, but some of these things are free, some of them are not. And so where's the boundary? I don't know. Like these are all issues that do have to be dealt with. Thoughts on thinkable.co. I don't know it. Let me go see what it is. thinkable.co, not com. Hang on. Introducing Prompty, design, test, and deploy custom generative AI apps using Thinkable's proprietary meta prompt and execution interface. Okay, first thing I think about it is use ChatGPT to rewrite your fucking opening paragraphs so that it's got 17 less buzzwords in it. Design, test, and deploy custom generative AI apps and features using Thinkable's proprietary meta prompt and execution interface. I don't know what the fuck that means. Watch Prompty design an LLM-powered app that writes novels. Oh, so this is like a chaining kind of thing, right? What task? Yeah, this is Auto GPT. This is so. Without knowing anything about it, this is some version of an autonomous agent that's going to chain together multiple prompts to accomplish something for you. There's a Watch Prompty design an LLM-powered app that writes novels. So go play with, if you want to play with something like that, go play with GPT Author, which is it's a Google Colab notebook that you can just play with, and it will write an outline for you, then write each of however many chapters you want in a book, and then it will generate a cover image for the book. So pretty cool. But yeah, it's something like that. I'm not dismissing it. I just don't know anything about it. But that idea of autonomous agents, things where you give them a goal and then they string together a series of actions like Code Interpreter does, I think that's absolutely the future. I don't think we're going to have to... The whole idea of prompt engineering and prompt crafting, if you're building applications, you're still going to need to do that and know that. But for the vast majority of us, you're not going to need to know much about prompting. You're just going to say, hey, thing, I want this. And they'll be like, okay. And if it doesn't understand it, it'll start asking you questions. Do you want a red one or a blue one? Do you want one in your size or do you want it in grandma's size? Oh, it's for me. Okay. So that's a 7.5. Well, I put on a little weight. Could you get me an 8 wide? I think that's how it's going to be. And so those kind of sites like that are kind of the foundational. Those are the beginnings of what the future is going to look like. ChatGPT, there's no hyperlinks to shift through after searching. Yep, exactly. I think I read that only 40% have heard of ChatGPT and 17% have used it. Not positive about the numbers. That's probably about right? Like, ChatGPT got to 100 million users in 6 weeks when it launched, right? It launched November 30th, 2022. Got to 100 million users in 6 weeks. They haven't really released the numbers since then. I would assume it got to 200 million, 300 million by the summer, and then I think in June the numbers started dropping off. So let's assume that ChatGPT, peaked at 300 million and came back down to 100 million. There's 100 million people using that. That's globally, right? Okay, there's how many people in the United States? 380, 360, 360 million, 380 million? Who can answer this? Bing can answer this. Unless Bing decides it's not going to answer fucking population questions. How many people in U.S.? 340 million. So 340 million in the U.S., let's say, 200 million of them. So let's say the bulk of ChatGPT users are American. What were your numbers? 40% have heard of it, 17% have used it. That seems about right to me. Here's the other thing about it. These tools are all kind of off in the AI ghetto right now, right? They're a lot of big companies are just starting to experiment with these. The security of these isn't clear right now. The you know, usage agreements are not clear with these right now. I'm having trouble right now with ChatGPT because they're completely unresponsive to inquiries from our lawyer, and they have the same terms of service for ChatGPT as they do for their API access, which basically says, yeah, we probably won't use it, but it's possible we do. Well, we've got fucking pharma clients, and we can't, that's not acceptable. And we can't get anyone there to fucking return a phone call, right? So a lot of companies haven't used these yet. But Microsoft, let's say by 2024, is going to roll Copilot throughout Office 365, Dynamics 365, Windows 11. Google's going to roll Bard throughout all of their Office products. So at the point at which these tools really get, fully assimilated into the tools that we use every day, that number is going to go up dramatically. And what's going to be interesting is the number of people who've heard of ChatGPT might not go up, but the number of people using generative AI tools in their day-to-day life will definitely go up, right? Because you're going to have lots of different, ChatGPT likely becomes like Xerox, like, people use the term, I'm going to Xerox it instead of copy it. It's probably going to be that. So you'll probably just call it ChatGPT no matter who the manufacturer is. But this is just going to become like the internet. It's just going to be there. It's going to be there in all the tools that we use and things like that. So the numbers, whether the numbers you have are completely accurate or not, that sounds about right to me. And here's what that means, Dr. J. We're fucking lucky. Anyone who gets AI literate in the next 12 to 18 months has a head start. Like, if you feel like you're fucking terribly behind right now, you're not. This shit's it's all brand new. It's all janky, duct tape pieces of shit software sitting on top of decades of remarkable scientific research. But the application layer of these tools is just piles of shit because they're working on getting the models right and the accuracy right and get it to actually, give you what you want. When I tell you to write a marketing plan, I don't want it to suck, right? The expectation is if you've got something that looks and acts like magic, it should be 100% magic. It shouldn't be like, well, it looks like magic, but the trick actually failed. Well, that's what these do now, right? So we're early. So I would say good on us, good on you for being here, or not here, but being in this conversation, because I think it's critically important, and I think any of us who it's not even jump on the bandwagon, any of us who are willing to get literate about what these are good at and what they're not, and understand how we might apply these in our life, in our work life, in our personal life, are going to have an advantage. We just are. We are. Flat out, 100%. And why do I know that? Well, for one thing, I've lived through it before. I lived through this with the World Wide Web. I could see what was coming. I saw it coming, and it came. Like, I just fucking watched it bowl through the economy and through our clients, and I've seen it before. And the companies, like management in big companies is going to resist until they're not. And then when those big companies go, oh, fuck, we got to deal with this, they're going to move swift and fast. And one of the first questions is going to be, who knows anything about this? And there's going to be a couple of timid people in the corner going, I used ChatGPT once. Get in my office. Let's have a conversation. Tell me what this shit is. I like it. You're the VP of AI. Guarantee you that conversation is happening in the next 6 months, or has probably already happened. So be that person at the office, be that person in your family, be that person in your community group that they look at fucking weird. I've got a bunch of my friends. Here's what's fucked up. I've got a bunch of friends that watched me do this when I discovered the World Wide Web, and they're like, you're fucking insane. And then I started agency.com, one of the first digital agencies, and I sort of ran up through that thing, and they're like, well, I really wish I would have listened to you back then. Well, now I'm doing the same shit with AI. Those same people are going, you're fucking crazy. This is evil. It's plagiarism. I'm like, it's the same fucking story as it was in 1994. You can bring a horse to water. Like, this shit's... Here's the deal. Like, I've got a lot of artist friends, right? I've written 7 screenplays. You know, I grew up in the arts. Like, I know the creative world, and I understand the fear of this shit, and I understand the sensitivity, and I understand the fucking devastation that this stuff's going to cause. But I'm not judging it as good or bad. What I'm confident in is that it's coming whether you want it or not. So I'm just trying to live in that reality. I'm not living in this is the best thing since sliced bread. There's no downside to it. I'm saying, no, there's massive fucking downside to it. And it's the most powerful tool ever put in the hands of humanity. Okay. You got those two things on the scales of justice, and then a fucking jet engine attached to it fucking coming right at your face. Like, this stuff's coming, whether you want it or not. You know, resisting AI, in my opinion, right now is the equivalent of Florida declaring that they're no longer accepting hurricanes. Like, it's a notable, like, I agree with the sentiment. Yeah, you should definitely not accept hurricanes anymore. And yet, in they come. That's what this shit is. So I'm just trying to live in that reality. Learn as much as I can about it. Evangelize that sense of curiosity. Not evangelize the tools. Evangelize the sense of curiosity. Like, don't sit on a fucking soapbox and say this is plagiarism if you're not using this stuff actively and understanding how it actually works. If you dig in and understand how it works and still feel it's the most evil fucking thing ever, cool, great. I totally respect that. And I understand why some people are on that side of the argument. But there's a lot of people on the side of the argument just like, the robots are going to kill us. Don't be a ninny. That's the point here tonight. Don't be a ninny. What's going on? At some point here, my kids are going to text me. I got to go pick them up. Great job. You've gone live for 90 minutes. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. Sorry, lost my place in the old questions. And now I'm trying to find my way back. I'm just trying to find my way back. Do you know if Google can detect that articles are got written? Do you know if Google... or AI written, I assume. There are ChatGPT detectors that apparently if you put the United States Constitution in it, it thinks it was written by ChatGPT. The detectors have lots of false positives, lots of false negatives, and smart people know how to get around them. So ChatGPT detectors are a distraction at best, in my opinion. I think they're bullshit. I think they're horseshit. When the calculator first came out, mathematics professors picketed about, students shouldn't be allowed to use calculators. Humbug. That's what's going on in universities and schools right now. ChatGPT's cheating. Well, maybe you need to redefine what you teach, and how you engage students so they use their fucking brains as critical thinking tools rather than just fucking memorization tools. Because now we've got these things that have memorized everything. So is it really important to get students to memorize shit anymore? I don't think so. And this shit isn't going to be uninvented. And students are going to have to use it. So if you block them from using the most powerful tool in the history of humanity, how are they supposed to fucking succeed in that world? Explain that to me. I feel the same way about the WGA right now. The Writers Guild. No one's using AI to write screenplays. Everyone's going to fucking use AI to write screenplays. Get a good deal, but don't cut your nose off to spite your face. This is the most powerful writing tool ever. Your writers. They're called large language models. What are writers? Large language models. You have the world's most powerful assistant in your back pocket, and you're sitting in the sidelines with your arms crossed going, fuck that technology. It just seems very short-sighted to me. And the thing that's so frustrating about it, it's like, this is every fucking piece of technology ever in history. The response is the same every time. Whether it's photography or the steam engine or the tractor or the fucking World Wide Web. I remember getting asked to leave a newspaper conference in 1996. I was asked to speak at a newspaper conference. And I was a pompous 30-something .com startup asshole. And I sat on the stage and I told a room full of newspaper people that they should consider blurring the lines between editorial and advertising. And the organizer of the event got up on stage and escorted me off it and asked me to leave the building. All I was saying was you should explore it because these lines are going to get really fucking blurry. And guess what? They've gotten really fucking blurry. And, the newspaper business is struggling to maintain their business model. So, yeah, so this shit's coming. And, we got to deal with it. And I feel like universities, more than anything, owe it to their population to help them prepare for the world they're about to enter. And so, ChatGPT detectors are not the answer. It's like we've detected which farms are using tractors, and we're going to burn the houses down of the farms that are using tractors because we know this is about horses and people. We have large megaphones where we can listen for the rumble of the engines. And when we hear it, we scan it all day long. And when we hear the rumble of the engines, we get on our horses and we take our dogs and we ride across the fields. And we find the man on the steam engine tractor and we knock him off it and beat him senseless. And then we smash the machine. Long live the horsies! I don't know what to say. I guess what I do know what to say. Don't use ChatGPT detectors. You fucking idiots. Okay. I created a new chatbot that will help students in all countries. Exactly. Yes. That's right. By the way, if you want to see something cool, check out, if you know Khan Academy, so the Flip the Classroom thing where they've got all the teaching resources up, KAHN. They added about 2 or 3 months ago, they added this thing called Khanmigo, which is based on GPT-4, and it's a teaching assistant in Khan Academy that uses the Socratic method. Like if students just ask it to cheat, it won't let them cheat. It'll actually work with them to make sure that they understand the concepts before moving on to the next one. It's pretty slick. Just turned in a 2,000 word sociology paper using ChatGPT. Go! Love it. Psychedella. Barbarella Psychedella. 10 out of 10 on the name. Solid name. That's great. Love it. Kike AI. Play Store plus App Store. Psych? Oh, Psych AI. Kike AI. Jesus. Psych AI. I'm gonna get booted off here again with your silly things. I'll bite. Let me type it in and see if it's gonna install malware in my computer. A revolutionary ChatGPT app designed to make your conversation smarter, faster, and more engaging. What's it do? Revolutionary ChatGPT. I'm psyched. I think they need a new name because that's going to get mispronounced and someone's going to get beat up. So, yeah, you could complete the task, but how much did you really understand? That's matter. Oh, wait, what? You can complete the task, but how much did you really understand? That's matter. I don't quite understand what you mean. If you use these tools to write for you, you're not going to understand the stuff. That's not how I use them, and that's not how I would use them, and I would suggest using them. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. Near here nor there. Thank you for answering my website question. We'll come back 5 a.m. in London. Sorry you're waking up to this. Are we hacking into NASA? We can try. Did they fix AutoGPT never-ending research? I don't know. I haven't played with AutoGPT. Listen. I assume all those projects are continuing apace, and the developers are making them better all the time. Just understand all these tools right now are janky duct tape pieces of shit. So if you see something like AutoGPT where you're like, that's interesting, just keep checking back with it every month or so. Just check in and see if there's been progress. I guarantee you there's been progress. I have no idea if it's any good yet. The GPT author is kind of an AutoGPT little mini application. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. You know what I'm saying. What's the website you said that makes the cover of the book for you? That's the one I was just talking about. GPT author. So it's a Google Colab notebook. So you got to be a little geeky. You got to run Google Colab, and then you open the notebook and you hit all these little play buttons that executes a sequence of code. And then within that, you type in, here's the topic of my book, here's the writing style that I want, here's the number of chapters, here's my OpenAI API key, and here's my Stable Diffusion API key. You put all that shit in there and you hit go. And then it goes, just writes you, it says writing the outline, writing chapter 1, writing chapter 2, writing chapter 3, writing chapter 4, writing chapter 5. Then it gets to the end and it spins up a cover art, and then it saves the whole thing as an ebook, in ebook format. And then on my Mac, it just opened right up in iBooks, and I started reading the book that it wrote. It was good. It was pretty good, actually. I did one on Tom Robbins. Tom Robbins? Yeah, Tom Robbins. The guy that wrote Still Life with Woodpecker. That was a fun book I read in college. And I had it right in that style, that kind of absurdist style. And it did pretty good. It wasn't brilliant like his stuff was, but it was pretty good. And then I had it right. I don't know. So I've written 2 books with GPT Author. It's pretty good. And this can be done via the use of your microphone, not necessary to type in the questions. Yeah. So the Pi app, you can turn it on. What I'm doing on my Mac, there's a it's an accessibility thing. On the top row of function keys, it's F5. F5 is the microphone key, and it works most of the time. And if you get the official ChatGPT app, It's got Whisper built into it, which is actually better than the Apple voice to text stuff. So if you go to openai.com and then go to the App Store link or the Google Play link for their official app, and it's got Whisper built into it. It's really good for transcription. Best way to create my own AI SaaS without code. I don't know. It's such a broad topic. Like, I don't know. I mean, I would start with what's your expertise. I think the way to start that would be go to ChatGPT, definitely go to GPT-4, and just start telling it who you are and what you know and what you don't know and what your goals are, and tell it that you want it to act like a business coach that specializes in AI SaaS companies or whatever. And then give it as much context as you can about the idea that you have, and have it come up with a plan for you, and maybe even tool recommendations. And then at some point it's going to say, I don't have the latest up-to-date tools because it's not connected to the internet anymore. And then you might go to Bing or Bard that are connected to the internet and get some latest resources. But I don't quite know how technical you are and what you really want to do with it. Like, creating the SaaS service itself is one thing, but marketing it is a completely different thing. And identifying a clear target audience is a completely different thing, and serving that audience is a completely different thing. So creating a SaaS company is a many-headed beast, and it is a fucking beast. Like, the coding is the least of it. Now, you could probably prototype a SaaS product really quickly that you could maybe then go raise money against and get, technical co-founders and things like that. What I would do in that case is teach yourself Zapier, one of the no-code automation tools, because those you can do pretty quickly. All right, I just got the text from the kids. Let me answer one other question here. I'm in charge of writing an article for 155,000 employees about our company's stance on generative AI. Ooh, that's actually really important, Chris. That's super cool. And you should definitely have a whole section in there that's just nonsensical and then just, this was written with ChatGPT. But that's really important. If you haven't seen it yet, you've been on these things before, and I've talked about this, but go check out the City of Boston's generative AI guidelines, because I think they're really well written. They give use cases and examples. They say, here's what it's good at, here's what it's not good at, here's a code of conduct. There just might be something in there to inspire it, but I think that's really important. So what Kavruno's saying, what she's tasked with here, in a big company, is that's a really good sign, right? That's a big company saying, we want to have a point of view on this, right? And they're taking someone within the organization that's been messing around with this stuff and probably communicating that she's been messing around with this stuff. And at some point someone goes, hey, I need you to write that paper. That's going to serve her in her career, right? It's also going to serve that company. Because once you get clear about, here's what these things are good at, here's what they're not good at, here are the milestones for how we're going to adopt this stuff over time, that's super critical. So one of the things that I talk about a lot, as you learn these tools, talk about it. Talk about it with your coworkers, talk about it with your friends, with your family. Let them call you fucking weirdos. Let them call you weirdos. All right, I got to go pick up my kids. Thank you all for hanging out with me. This is awesome as always. I appreciate you and all the gifts that were given and the little hearty hearts. You're the best. All of you are really awesome, and I like hanging out with you. So, best way to learn automations. I would say just start with Zapier. Like Zapier is not a great interface. It's a janky one. There's another tool called Make, Make, that seems like it's the newer, fancier version of Zapier, but Zapier's got like 5,000 tools that it's connected to. And you can do a relatively simple thing. Maybe I'll talk about, maybe on my lives, remind me, and for the next time you see me on live, remind me about it, and I'll do a short little automation in Zapier and show you how to do it. All right? Peace out, everybody.